session. It's not me presenting. I'm just starting. So then we have two groups of our project who will jump in and will explain in more detail their contribution on the past, present, and future of the universe, the culture collision Bosnia-Herzegovina project. They, it's a community who participated in a very exciting activity in using art, the arts, as to communicate and to engage in network with science. Uh, our, object, our objectives are to stimulate curiosity, foster critical thinking and creative thinking, and engage in science via the art practice. Um, I will give just short comments here at the beginning because on Friday I have a more detailed presentation where I explain more the systematic and methodology on what we're doing. The cultural coalition format is just one element of a variety of how we try to connect cross-disciplinary activities and to foster and engage with our scientific community and to communicate the scientific knowledge, the scientific topics in general. So the most important thing is it's not about the arts, it's about how we connect to people with another communication channel and not just communicating, but we engage and then through these communities we network within different levels of communities. Cultural coalition format is, as I said, one of the elements, one of the formats we developed over the last years, and it's the most complete format which is dedicated for students and to work with educational institutions and artistic communities in locally. So, and this is always organized such that we, at the beginning of the school year, we have an initial inspiration activity. Ideally, it's an exhibition, a cross-disciplinary exhibition, which presents all the scientific topics included, which are somehow present in representing the scientific community in this country, in this region, and we use this exhibition as a framework to run lectures and workshops, but on the science and on the arts, so the artistic reflection on the scientific topics. Then, from this on, we pass over the responsibility to our local supervisors. This can be most important the teachers in the communities working at the schools, but also connecting the artistic community. Like here in Bosnia-Herzegovina, we have five best practice examples in two groups where they implemented, where we work closely with with our teams, local teams supporting the students. Here we have one student team as well present, and of course, in the local heroes are always our scientific partners, local partners. So in Bosnia-Herzegovina, first due to the pandemic, we had difficulties to start. First, we had a difficulty because we could not find proper funding. We applied at the EU and the cost funding, but we didn't get it. So, nevertheless, we had good connection when I made an exhibition in Sarajevo in 2018. We connected to the Austrian Cultural Forum in Sarajevo, and they had interest to support us and to start activities, cultural activities with science and art. So then the director of the Cultural Forum approached me and said, look, I reserved a little bit of budget. what do we do? I said, difficult because pandemic makes the life not easy to make an exhibition, but what we can do is a symposium. So then we set it up a symposium. Ivica Kuljak from Split, who's a good friend and colleague from CMS, and he will connect to the local community. So he reached out to Mirza, and we designed what we want to do and what we can do. And since the pandemic, we said, okay, look, the easiest we do it online. So we set it up online. Mirza connected to his team, to his colleagues all over Bosnia and Herzegovina, and in the end, we connected six different cities. When we had 11 working groups in all three different ethnic regions in the country, which was absolutely amazing. And this is something which I, from the outside, never could set up. So it's about to integrate the local team into the design and the organization of these events. Then we had a list of programs, a list of activities. So the cultural coalition format is always the inspiration at the beginning, then the work during the school year with the teams, connecting with, as I said, artistic, scientific, and educational communities. And at the end, we have a final presentation, also an exhibition where we present just the artistic results of the process the students were going through. So here we were planning to have each second month a rehearsal session, and we had a virtual visit. I will explain in detail a little bit later. And at the end, we, as you can see, the hybrid closing vernissage of the cycle. Mirza connected to this community here to connect DAD community, which was very good because the DAD also contributed in something what we want to keep to leave the community, the local communities permanently. So the Austrian Cultural Forum and DAD sponsored a set of 18 posters each for the cities participating. So there we designed some posters printed on textile posters, and these have been installed in the venues as a permanent framework. This was used to engage locally with the students, and also stays there to decorate the school or wherever they put it up. So this was a kickoff symposium. We had around 2 days presentation of international colleagues from LIGO, from LHC, CERN, and also of course, from our most important partners, so the local scientific communities, and also international arts and local partners. And then the students presented their ideas, their feedback. So this was 2 days, a 2 day symposium. And here you see some groups who joined in addition. So we had initially we had four cities, and then we had 6 cities in total, and then here a few sessions of the presentations of the rehearsal sessions, where I have to admit the quality and the professionalism of the presentation of the students was really extraordinary. I have to say, the level of English and how the students engaged, I have to make a big congratulation to the local teams, because this was above expectation. So this is then we had one of the sessions were a virtual visit. Virtual visit is where we give an introduction session on what's going on at CERN. And while we're doing this, we go live stream to one of the detectors, our detector, CMS, one of the jewels at CERN. So while Ivica gave introduction of particle physics, CERN, CMS, and what we're doing here, I was running around showing live stream and acting on questions. And so this is a virtual visit, and we enhanced, or the local team, Mirza, enhanced the whole event with invitation by, so we had at the beginning a discussion session or presentation session where the director of the cultural forum gave an contribution how important this cross-disciplinary cultural activity is for the exchange of culture and the local communities. Then we had the science minister of Sarajevo talking, the vice rector of the university, and the director of the gallery. So each three ethnic regions were present, different level, high level contribution. So this was really amazing, and we had 556 connections, live connections, participating. And Mirza told me that many of the live connections were school classes. So so in total, if you count single participants, Mirza estimated around 700, which is again something which is far beyond expectations. And usually we do these visual visits for school class, for school, so you have between 20, 30, or 100, but 700 is something which is really, really amazing. So it means again, this is not us from outside, this is a local team distributing information, making advertisement, and connecting the communities. And so, and this is at the end. We had a visual, a hybrid vernissage, so it's important to give the stage to the students at the end to present their work. They were working hard, and you will see immediately when I finish the contribution of one of the teams here. And we again hybrid. Why hybrid? Hybrid because again the local teams organized two venues, one in Sarajevo, one in Banja Luka, where all the local teams came together. So we had two venues of vernissage, exhibition, presentation, and the whole was umbrellaed by a Zoom conference. So that's why hybrid. And again, thanks to the local network, we had a long list, as you can see here, on high level contributors, all giving a statement, all appreciating what we're doing. So this, of course, makes raises the visibility in all directions. So here quickly a few artistic contributions of the teams. And we had from participatory art with small children, with digital. Here, this is the team Zenica with a stop motion movie, round table discussions, one amazing production of theater you have seen yesterday, and will come back. Social media, virtual gallery, art production, dance, so music. So one thing when I have to emphasize, it's not, if I talk about arts, it's not, I talk not about painting or drawing. It's about all creative expression now and out, and of the local teams. To what we discussed yesterday already, to trigger and foster the jewels which are in the students embedded. In July, we presented this at the EPS conference, and we will write a paper on that, so we will have a scientific record, which is good. And I have to say again, it's the poster. It was by Lamilia, one of our students, helped to design the poster. So again, we'll try always to redistribute the responsibility and invite everybody to participate. It's not work from one, it's not from one group. It's always very collaborative work, and to generate what we're doing and to increase the impact. So summary, most important thing is that this was just the first cycle, and we will try to enlarge our network. We do this in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and we reached out already to communities in Serbia, Croatia, and Montenegro. We'll see if we manage to start this in autumn 2021 to run the sample cycle. But most important, we are working on is to make something at least sustainable. We need a significant budget. So this is the next challenge for us as the organizers to see which organization can support and supply us with a budget that we can run this program and also support our local teams, because without just out of fun, you can do this once or twice, but it's not sustainable. And our emphasis is science and art connect people, and this needs, of course, also resources. So thank you for your attention, and now I will pass over the word to our first team, Team Senica, to give you an introduction or an explanation how they viewed the project and how they participated, and to see to emphasize a little bit on the process, and also finally they will show you a little bit on their final product, and afterwards I will give the word to Emania to talk about the CETA production.
Thank you, Michael. I'm Yilmaz Fahic. This is Nela Baklic, and we are students from Zenica. It is our utmost honor and pleasure to be here today and talk a bit more about our project. So, with our 5 colleagues, we were part of the Cultural Conditions BIH project, and as you heard before, it was our task to connect art and science. And the way we did that was connect the relationship between matter and antimatter with the traditional Bosnian killer. And now Mila will tell you a bit more about that.
So what you see on the screen right now is a kiln. A kiln is a traditionally woven rug specific to not just Bosnia and Herzegovina, but also to Serbia, Croatia, and Montenegro. And this rug here, I wove myself, actually. And I've never done that before in my life. So it really was a learning process, not just for the scientific part of it, but also this artistic part. And the way we found the connection between matter and antimatter in the Bosnian killing is in these symbols. With the help of a Bosnian artist, Dr. Anila Smajovic, we have found the exact meanings of these symbols. They are called little stars. So we connected that to the galaxies and the universe and all that. And all these symbols, you can definitely see the pattern in professionally made killings. But they are always arranged in a stark contrast. Although these symbols are essentially the same, the one on the left and the right side, they are exactly the same. they're still on opposing sides, just like matter and antimatter are the same, but with an opposite charge.
Really, I'm making comment in between because a common task that all the student groups got at the very beginning was um, choose one topic, scientific topic represented. So they were choosing matter, antimatter, and two things they should emphasize. One thing is whatever they create, the final product should be to disseminate our scientific topics to their peer group, so their same age group or to students. So, and what they should not do is take any professional product and repaint it and redo copy paste. So they should invent something new, but to communicate to their to students, their age group or lower. And if possible, they should see, since it's art and science, they should pick up any local historic, artistic, or craft topic or technique to implement in their creative work. And here, this is what they realized in in an excellent way because they took traditional Bosnian Herzegovina science and craft in their artistic expressions of matter and antimatter.
So keeping that in mind, we wanted to be original, which is why we chose that topic after very careful consideration and preparation. And yeah, we had this great idea, we had this great talk with these great connections, or as we can say, as I can say so myself. But we wanted to presented in an interesting way, something that like our peers and younger children or maybe even older people want to watch and in a way that is, as I said, interesting. So we had to create a movie, and how do we make that interesting? Well, as Brad was talking about yesterday, we got into storytelling. So that was our next part, to create a video with distinct characters, with distinct plot points, with distinct challenges that they're trying to overcome, and everything is in keeping in mind that we want it to be interesting. So we created these three puppets, these three characters that are the grandmother, the grandson, and the alien named Zombo. And they were, as you will see in the video, they were on a quest, and Namila will tell you more about how they were actually made and what was their purpose, how did we manipulate them in the video.
On this picture, you can see a more detailed shot of the three main characters. These puppets were also all handmade by me, and I only used materials I already found around my home. So the character in the middle is Grandma, and what is also interesting is that all the materials that you see on her are actually taken from my grandma. She has made a few donations. She has given us a headscarf and a few fabrics so that we can make these puppets. And now I'll show you their skeleton, as scary as that sounds. Since we decided on doing stop motion, we had to make sure that the puppets could move and also to stay in the position that they were moved in. So we had a copper wire armature, and the copper wire was taken from my grandfather. So we did a lot of recycling. It was a very sustainable project. And also you can see that the eyes and eyebrows on her face are pinned in place. So they weren't fixated, so that we can still manage to have their facial expressions.
Yeah, and because it was stop motion animation, we had to have specific dimensions and specific like scale, like the sizes of not just the puppets, but the sizes of everything. So we
These are detailed shots.
yeah, and we had to have everything in the specific size, so that was also a bit challenging. And because we wanted to make this project ours, we handmade pretty much everything. And in addition to never creating these puppets, we also created the sets ourselves. So literally everything you see in the video was handmade by us. like the sets, we bought the decorations and everything. So it was a lot of hard work. So we prepared the characters, we prepared the set, we also prepared the equipment to make the video. And after all of that, it was time to shoot the video, to record. And because we did stop motion, it was just a lot of hard work. It was a really strenuous process because we had to move them in a particular way that was really time consuming. And what we, because it was a really long process, it lasted about 4 weeks. We had to come in like every day. This is just in the beginning. So we divided into two groups, divide and conquer. And we tracked the attendance of everyone coming in to try, and have a schedule and to make sure that everyone works, pretty much the same. And just to ensure that the final product, the video turns out, as good as possible. Then because we shot the video, and then it was time to record the audio, and we recorded the audio both in Bosnian and in English. And after all that, it was time to edit the video, and that was also a really, really long process. We had like 3 to 5 editors trying to put everything together because, as I said, it was stop motion, and it was really, really difficult to sync the audio and the video because the video was difficult to shoot. And I think that's it.
I forgot to show pictures of the making of the killing we saw at the beginning. These are some sketches that I've developed with the help of the artist that I mentioned, Dr. Smajvic. And you can see the first idea. It was a very ambitious sketch, but I wasn't really able to incorporate all of the symbols that I liked in there. And also you can see in this next picture what the film looked like on the move, the region. And now we also have a few pictures of the project diary that we kept during this process. So here we explained a bit more in detail from the first initial opening symposium to what we actually wanted to do at first. You see that a picture of us throwing the Higgs boson in the trash. We wanted at first to make a movie about the Higgs boson, but
it was a really popular topic. And,
yes.
It's important to say that this idea, this parallel, was not our initial idea. So we had many of them, as you can see. We had like gravitational waves, dark holes, dark matter, pretty much everything that we saw in the opening symposium. But again, we settled for something a bit, as we thought, was more original.
Just one comment here, because what they have created here in parallel to the their stop motion movie is an experience I had for many years when working with students, because explaining them that artists have a sketchbook where they sketch and they reflect and write up their thinking, and I always emphasize each group should create one of their sketchbooks, so diaries here, and because this is somehow reflecting the process we as an artist, as a design community, are interested, or general public, or policymakers are interested in. The stop motion movie is nice, but what is really amazing is the process the team runs through. And and here this reflects in a very good way. It is an artwork on its own. As from the theater team, they also created a diary of the making of. So it is really, really worthwhile to have presented in the edition.
We also collaborated with our local radio station, the recording of the audio, radioactive minutes. You can give that a follow. I think that's the hand. Also, yes, we had at first many different managed to find a way to incorporate that in our movie and our story. But we found parallels in these crocheted doilies that all of our grandmothers like to make, and in the shape of the galaxy, or in the shape of the atom. It's very circular. Also, we wanted to connect that with the supersymmetry, is that what it's called? But sadly, we had to get, limit ourselves. Exactly.
Yeah, we couldn't incorporate everything in the video, and we couldn't put a lot of like scientific language in the video because our target group weren't scientists, so we had to dig deep into these subjects, but just take a bit of that, like the key concepts, the key notions that put it in the video.
Also, you can see here our storyboard for our movie that we drew in paint. So it looks like a very quality made storyboard, very detailed drawings. And also underneath that you can see the initial sketches of the design for our alien, which I drew. And
The dimensions of the storyboard, can you just
yes, the dimensions of the story.
It's 1200 times 7165, so there were a lot of pictures there. For like a 20-minute video, I don't think we even finished the entire storyboard.
No, there were scenes that we had to cut because they were
They were
we weren't professionals. They were not.
They were undoable.
So now we can show.
Yeah, and we made the diary ourselves, and we were all writing something in it. Drawing, writing, translating. All 7 of us worked on that diary.
So now we will show you the game.
Absolutely not, Ahmed. I can always just take some tea.
Granny, if the doctor prescribed medication for you, you have to take it.
What was that?
It's Java's kid again, throwing firecrackers.
There he is, in his weird costumes again. Go get Jeva.
Granny, this doesn't look like Java's kid. Put on your glasses.
Hallo, ich bin verloren. We don't understand you. Oh, estoy perdido. You're in Bosnia. Bosnia. Ahmed, explain to him.
You are in Bosnia, my friend.
I'm lost. Help me. I come from the Sunflower Galaxy. My ship has crashed. Please help me.
Oh, come on, son. Let's go inside. Get you to calm down a bit.
You see the set of the main room. Every single detail was either improvised, like the TV. You see here is
Ampermeter.
ampermeter that we found in our physics classroom. Also, the telephone here was made out of clay by us. So, just things to pay attention to how much actually works.
Sit here, calm yourself. Not there, in the chair.
Do you want to eat first, or would you like coffee?
I just want to go back to my sunflower.
The poor kid must be hungry. Ahmed, go to the pantry. You'll see under the second shelf. Bring that.
We'll skip ahead. Also,
I don't understand.
Is it supposed to make that noise?
I have no idea.
Go run and ask him if he needs anything.
What? What's wrong with it?
have an idea. You said that your people understand these symbols too, differently than us, but still, why wouldn't we make a kiln big enough to send a message to these friends of yours? We will need a lot of time and we will have to weave with no loom, but we will do it as soon as possible.
What did you mean by differently than us?
Checking, just in case.
Example, what's wrong?
Well, what if that signal a few days ago was false?
Copy.
Come on, don't be afraid.
Well, in short, we cannot show you the whole video, but the whole thing is on YouTube. So if you're curious, you can check it out. But in short, Zomba got lost in Bosnia, and he wanted, of course, to find a way to go back home. And
He needed antimatter for that, and
Yes.
there wasn't any. There wasn't the amount of the antimatter he could use as fuel. So they had to improvise to get his friends to come and get him to go back home, and they did that using the killers and the symbols.
exactly how you can see on yourself. So do we have time? Should I just?
Yeah, just
So now they're taking the killing to space.
And now we will learn more about his discovery from the very own Professor Arnold Kavčić.
okay. Even the local scientists, they are in the video. Okay, thanks a lot. Before I give the word to Nemanja, I would like to show you a few extractions of other contributions. They are all on YouTube, so I will put in my presentation. We will publish on the Connect website. I will put also there are also the links of the videos. The Team Sarajevo had a participatory art project with small children, and they made them create and went into dialogue, and they documented this process. Then we had a very nice presentation on with dance and music as well. On YouTube, we put several. This was dance.
energy.
One
The
group
direction of the sun affect well, that would be
made
impossible.
paintings,
1.5 billion years.
art production,
Due to the warming and expansion of the sun.
music,
As a result of
and
the collapse
they
of the
also
sun's core,
created a virtual gallery.
causing the oceans to expand.
So
The evaporation of the ocean
another
further causes
spin-off we could
similar
use
to that
to present
experience
to make a common visual
of
gallery of